And if you want to help build a Rose Parade float, now is your chance. First, we get a check on your traffic around Southern California. Back to Sabina Mora, brought to you this time by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Going to start in Malibu and our SIG alert, Las Flores Canyon Road. It's a serious crash where a car flipped over, and looks like the southbound lanes are affected before Gorge Road. They should be wrapping this up hopefully in the next 20 minutes or so, but they're saying till at least 11 a.m., and I'll let you know if that's extended. The SIG alert on PCH because of the Franklin fire continues. Both directions, Cane and Doom to Topanga Canyon Boulevard. Also, Benny called in and said Old Topanga Road southbound to Topanga Canyon is congested. I do see a backup about a mile or so if you're trying to connect. On the southbound 5 to the southbound 170, there was a problem with somebody fixing their car in the carpool lane. Thank you, John from Valencia, for calling that in. Looks like they managed to move that person out of the way, and the 5 is looking a little bit better southbound to Lankershim. That was an earlier hazard, a fender bender. Traffic on the northbound side of the 605 still packed from Rose Hills. That's Beverly over to the 60. The connector roads are still blocked off because of an ongoing SIG alert. Traffic east on the 91 is going to be slow to the 5 connector. There was a crash on the 5 south of the 91 that was moved to the right shoulder, but the connector road on the 91 eastbound from Valley View to the 5 is still busy. And then thank you, Lynn, for calling in. The problem on the 105 was debris east and westbound at the 710. And cheers to you, too. Looks like traffic is a little bit better, still sluggish to the connector, but they did clear the debris out of the way. Valvoline Instant Oil Change is your 15-minute drive-through oil change. Expert technicians will check your oil fluid, battery, lights, wipers, and more. And you don't even have to get out of your car. Traveling near or far, safe holiday travel starts at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. For coupons, visit SoCalOilChange.com. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5, so Simpson Chevrolet 24-hour traffic center.
Temperatures all around today a lot cooler than yesterday, but the good news is that we are seeing the return of moisture back in our atmosphere after we saw single-digit relative humidity yesterday. The system that's moving down the coast will probably bring us some rain by the afternoon and early evening, not a huge rainmaker, about 1/10 of an inch or less. And then the second chance of rain should be moving in on Saturday. Highs for the next few days for the coast will be in the low 60s, mid-60s today and tomorrow for LA and Orange County, mid to upper 60s for the valleys, also through tomorrow, mid-60s for the Inland Empire, 60s for the high deserts, upper 40s for the mountains. And that's your next weather forecast. I'm KCAL News meteorologist Amber Lee for KNX News 97.1 FM.
Stanley has recalled more than 2 million of its popular steel travel mugs because there have been reports about loose lids that have caused burn injuries. The company has received 91 reports of lids detaching, leading to 38 burn injuries worldwide. The recall affects Stanley's switchback and trigger action cups sold between June 2016 and December 2024. These mugs were sold at stores like Walmart, Target, Dick's Sporting Goods, and typically cost between $20 and $50. Stanley is offering replacement tops to affected customers. If you own one of these mugs, it is recommended you contact Stanley for a replacement. The aggressive approach to make EVs the king in California by 2035 may fail, and as Bob Brill reports, it might just depend on who is in the White House.
Governor Newsom's mandate was to have all new cars sold in California be zero-emission vehicles by 2035. The state is far behind in that goal, with an increase in last year's sales of around 1%, over 300,000 new cars. The incoming president, no friend of Newsom, has vowed to eliminate the tax break for EVs and to raise huge tariffs on Mexico and China. Those tariffs alone could greatly damage the price and supply of EVs. Perhaps the biggest challenge is consumer demand. It's dropped off big time. Part of the problem is the lack of infrastructure. Those charging stations aren't being built fast enough. Newsom has promised a state tax break, but it may not be enough. I'm Bob Brill, KNX News 97.1 FM.
A teenager in the San Gabriel Valley is one of the youngest ever Asian Americans to be elected to office in LA County. At 16 years old, Kaylee May Law graduated from Mount San Antonio College with 3 associate's degrees. Graduated summa cum laude from Grand Canyon University in Arizona with a bachelor's, and most recently she earned her master's from Johns Hopkins University. She's now 19 and talked to KCAL News about why she wanted to serve on the Walnut City Council.
This community raised me, and it's been so great, and I really appreciate this opportunity to give back.
She said her family instilled the value of education at a young age.
When my grandfather came to the United States, he had a 6th grade education. Continuing my grandparents' legacy and all the sacrifices that my grandparents and my parents made, that was really important to me.
Next on her list is law school. California judges are suing the state over their pay raises, saying they've been shortchanged for years. They earn at least $240,000 and can count on a raise just about every year. requirement that's written into the state law. The lawsuit now argues that the state has incorrectly calculated raises by leaving out certain types of pay increases that other state workers received. Judges believe this is a mistake, and it's led to smaller raises, especially when compared to inflation. In the past, the state included special salary adjustments, but stopped doing so after the 2008 recession. The judges want the state to recalculate their raises going back to 2016, when special adjustments became common for other workers. If the lawsuit succeeds, judges could get back pay, and their pensions may be recalculated as well. It's 10:50, time for a check on your money with Bloomberg's Tom Busby.
More Americans are more upbeat about their personal finances than they were just a year ago. More than 4 in 10 people surveyed by Bankrate say they expect their finances to improve in 2025, mostly because they expect inflation to ease even further. But wholesale inflation just last month rose by more than expected, driven higher by food prices, like eggs, which cost 55% more than they did in October because of that bird flu outbreak. Now on Wall Street, that's weighing on traders at this hour. The Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P all down about 1/5% each. Google and Samsung taking aim at Apple and Meta Platforms, unveiling a new mixed reality headset and operating system today that uses the latest advances in AI technology. Should be available next year. And YouTube TV is hiking prices. For new subscribers, the cost of YouTube TV will go from $73 a month to $83 for current subscribers. That increase will hit you next month. I'm Bloomberg's Tom Busby from the Just One Touch Money Desk on KNX News 97.1 FM. When you need to know.
Thank you so much for a story that I just heard on the 101. I am one of those drivers and have been wondering what the hell they did. I really appreciate your story. It answered a lot of questions.
Southern California's news is KNX News 97.1 FM.
Mike Simpson here, and your hair is thinning. Your crown's disappearing. Hair loss might have you feeling like you're not you. You lost that identity. Thankfully, we got the fix. It's Advanced Hair, the simple one-day treatment. You decide how much and how thick and where. This is your own natural hair. It begins regrowing the very next day, and it is guaranteed to grow for the rest of your life. Advanced Hair has helped tens of thousands of people just like you. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's 844-333-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
You trusted the hospital or nursing home to keep your loved ones safe. Now they have bed sores, have fallen, have broken bones, or become dehydrated. These conditions are almost always signs of negligent care. Get the legal help you need. Call attorney Zoran Basic at Basic Law Group, 800-215-1234. The consultation is free, and if they don't win, you don't pay. That's 800-215-1234. Zoran at Basic Law Group. Call 800-215-1234 or go to basiclawgroup.com.
Replacing your teeth with a Dental Implants GPS Smile is about more than just teeth.
I get emotional. I start losing my teeth. I'm too young for that. I'm very thankful because this really changes a person's life.
Teeth is what we do, but at the end of the day, that's not really what it's about. It's about patients' confidence.
DentalImplantsGPS.com provides people with missing teeth, failing teeth, or unstable dentures full mouth dental implants. Call 800-863-9300 today.
I want people to know this really changes your life.
The approach that we take towards patients is one of guides. The patient is the center of our universe. That's why our name is Dental Implants GPS, because we guide patients along this journey to their better future, to their newfound confidence.
Don't wait. Call Dental Implants GPS and get your free educational book with important dental implant information. Call 800-863-9300. That's 800-863-9300.
If you expect more, you'll get more. It's year-end clearance time at the Simpson family of dealerships.
Deco Week is coming up. That's when float builders for the Rose Parade really get to work, gluing on all the seeds, the flowers, the fruits, the grasses, and more on their entries. During that crunch week between the day after Christmas and New Year's Eve, there are usually actually a lot of volunteers, so if you'd like to get involved now, maybe an easier time to sign up. There are several float companies doing all the building, and the Pasadena Star News says it's best to contact them directly. And if you'd like to just watch the process, you can do that too. But if you do go to watch or help, dress for the mess and the warmth. They say those warehouses get really cold and the materials can stain your clothes. There's a link on our website, knxnews.com, if you'd like to sign up to volunteer. A new lawsuit has accused major food companies, including Kraft Heinz, of marketing addictive food to children. The lawsuit was filed in Philadelphia by Bryce Martinez, who claims he develops type 2 diabetes and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease due to consuming products from companies including General Mills and W.K. Kellogg. He says he was diagnosed at the age of 16. His lawyers say the case is the first of its kind. The current FDA commissioner has said that ultra-processed foods are likely addictive. The lawsuit seeks punitive damages. Allison Keyes, CBS News. 10:55. Let's do it one more time. Sabina Mora, brought to us this time by Mosley Wealth Management.
All right, going to go back to Malibu one more time. Let's go east and westbound on PCH. The closure continues with the signal alert, the hard closure on PCH, both directions from Canaan-Doom to Topanga Canyon Boulevard. Now, I was getting reports of some sewing on Old Topanga Road, southbound to Topanga Canyon. I do see a little bit of leftover delay, but not as heavy as it was earlier. And taking Topanga northbound to the 101, it should be okay for you. That is open now to everybody. The east or southbound 101 still slow from Tarzana and Encino over to the 405. And then on the northbound 405, there's some activity out of Inglewood, just past La Tijera, getting reports of debris, possibly rocks and boulders in the carpool lane. So be careful with cars swerving, and that's causing a big backup from the 105. As you get past the 90, it opens up on the 405 northbound to the 10. On the eastbound side of the 91, right at the 5, there's a collision. There's a lane blocked off, and traffic is slow from Valley View. Traffic north on the 605 approaching the 60. The connector roads are still blocked off. It's an ongoing signal alert. The backup there is Beverly, but also northbound on the 57. There's a new issue in Diamond Bar. Looks like that was a car stuck at the 60 East connector, and that's causing a backup on the 57 from before Diamond Bar Boulevard. How much do you have for retirement in your tax-deferred accounts? Whether it's $100,000 or several million, you'll pay real taxes when you need it. Go to easemytaxbill.com to find out how much money you'll really have and how much you may save if you're smart. That's easemytaxbill.com. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5s from the Simpson Chevrolet 24-hour traffic center.
So we've got a couple of storm systems coming in today and Saturday. Not a lot of rain, chance of snow in the mountains. 59 degrees along the Miracle Mile in Los Angeles. Rob Archer coming up next.
I'm Melinda Lee with a story. Once upon a time in 1952, two men named Al and Dick opened a small artificial flower store in Hollywood. They named it Aldic. Al left early on, but Dick stayed and he grew the business doing artificial flower installations all around L.A. In fact, Aldic installed the foliage on the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse at Disneyland. In 1970, the company moved to Van Nuys, where they are today. Aldic Home is still family-owned and continues to provide a unique and amazing experience. Starting every October, Aldic Home presents the most elaborate and beautiful winter wonderland in the country. It's become an LA tradition. This year's display is breathtaking. You won't want to miss it. So come see why I always tell you that there's no place like Aldic Home. Visit the store in Van Nuys or go to aldichome.com.
For eligible individuals 18 and older with self-preservation for details and important safety information.
Life without hearing aids can be frustrating.
Andy, did you hear what she just said?
No, I'm sorry. What did I miss?
I said I got the promotion back. I thought you would be excited.
You're missing out on the important moments of your life because you just can't hear them. It's Jabra Enhanced Select 500, our smallest, most advanced hearing aid. With proprietary speech clarity technology, even the most complex listening situations like a noisy restaurant are crisp and clear. And you can get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional care you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. Get Jabra Enhanced over-the-counter hearing aids and stop missing the important moments. JabraEnhanced.com/radio. JabraEnhanced.com/radio.
This update is brought to you by Moderna.
Hey, did you know that last year about 2 times more people were hospitalized from COVID-19 than the flu? Protect yourself this season with an updated COVID-19 vaccine. Visit foryouandthem.com to find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by Moderna.
Have you been injured at work? Downtown LA Law Group Injury Attorneys. Text Injury Help to 40222. Text Injury Help to 40222.
Oh, always live on the free Odyssey app.
KNX FM and HD, Los Angeles.
This is Southern California News.
Good morning, I'm Rob Archer. Coming up, LAX is looking at anomalies that took down its websites this morning. A lot of patient records have been stolen in a hospital hack, and UCLA police chief is out after criticism over the way he handled campus protests. All these stories, lots more, on the way.
Only on KNX News 97.1 FM.
It's 11 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Christopher Cruz. An American from Missouri has been found in Syria. Travis Timmerman was released from a prison after 7 months by Islamist rebels. Secretary of State Antony Blinken.
We're working to bring him home, bring him out of Syria.
CBS's Elizabeth Palmer has spoken with Timmerman.
We found the house about 15 miles south of Damascus, and there was Travis Timmerman from Havana, Missouri.
I was only let out 3 times a day to go to the bathroom, so that was quite the hardship.
You have food and water?
I did.
Secretary Blinken said he had no update on the American journalist Austin Tice, who was abducted in Syria in 2012. But he said the U.S. continues to look for Tice. CBS News has learned that the Turkish government is facilitating U.S. communication with the Syrian rebels. American officials aren't allowed to speak directly to the rebel group because it's a designated terror, and its leader is a designated terrorist under American law. A deal to end the fighting in Gaza and bring the hostages home could be near, says National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan.
We're now looking to close a hostage release deal in a ceasefire, which would stop the war and reunite hostages with their families.
Sullivan says Israel and Hamas have indicated they support the proposed ceasefire. As his time in the White House winds down, Joe Biden is exercising the mighty presidential power of pardons and commutations. CBS's Jared Hill says Biden has now commuted the sentences of 1,500 people.
The announcement represents the largest single-day act of clemency in modern history. On the list, people who were released from prison and placed on home confinement during the COVID-19 pandemic. Biden is also pardoning 39 Americans convicted of non-violent crimes.
President-elect Donald Trump has been named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. He spoke at the New York Stock Exchange before ringing the bell that marked started today's trading.
I have to say, Time Magazine getting this time. I think I like it better this time, actually.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has put a cap of $5 on overdraft fees that big banks can charge starting next October. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says the CFPB will allow the big banks to charge more than $5 if they can prove the higher fee is necessary to cover their actual collection costs.
The new CFPB rule is seen as part of the Biden administration's campaign to reduce junk fees for consumers. And for those households that pay these overdraft fees, it could save about $220 a year.
Less than 2 hours before the close on Wall Street, the Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ all off about 1/3%. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? They're yours, and Progressive protects them both. Bundle today at Progressive.com. From the Downtown LA Law Group Injury Help Studios.
This is Southern California's News.
KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Good morning, I'm Rob Archer. It's 11:03, and LAX experienced network anomalies that knocked its website offline this morning. It did not significantly affect flight operations, though. LA World Airports isolated systems as a precaution. They're investigating. They report minimal disruptions. A spokesperson said it's always recommended that travelers check with the airline before heading to the airport. Van Nuys Airport website also affected, although the issue's full scope remains unclear. As of this morning, almost 90 inbound flights were delayed, but only 3 cancellations. No response yet from the FAA. Hackers attacked PIH Health earlier this month, claimed to have stolen 17 million patient records, including personal and medical information. The attack disrupted services at 3 hospitals, PIH Health, Downey, Whittier, and Good Samaritan, and other facilities, causing phone and computer systems to go down. Staff had to switch over to paper records, the old ways, to continue treating patients. The Southern California News Group reports the hackers sent a letter saying they'd stolen 2 terabytes of sensitive data, including diagnoses, treatment plans, and contact information. They threatened to release the data online. The PIH didn't cooperate, and they are working with the FBI and cybersecurity experts to resolve the issue. It is not clear if they paid a ransom. In the meantime, the hospital is still providing care, just using the old-fashioned manual methods. UCLA's police chief is out. Officials not saying whether he was let go or left on his own. John Baird has reaction from the Westwood campus.
And now former police chief John Thomas was under fire for the way things were handled during the pro-Palestinian demonstrations, particularly in regard to one incident in which counter-protesters attacked the campers and officers didn't intervene for hours. So Thomas is gone and UCLA is now on the hunt for a new police chief. A third-year international student tells me maybe that's a good thing.
I think so. Maybe as part of like a rebranding after that.
Like maybe a fresh start. Now, most of the students I spoke with seem to agree, including a JC student who wants to transfer into UCLA next year.
I hope things get better, and I hope that the people like in power properly manage like student safety.
The former police chief told the LA Times back in May he tried to do everything possible to protect the students. But now that he's gone, a UCLA police captain will take over the job on an interim basis. I'm John Baird, KNX News 97.1 FM.
11:06, let's get a little traffic check-in with Sabina Mora in the Simpson Chevrolet Group Traffic Center.
All right, well, I'm going to go straight to the 210 in Monrovia. There's a lot of activity here. Two separate crashes backing things up from before Santa Anita, eastbound on the 210 to Myrtle. Thank you, Ollie, for coming in. Up to 7 vehicles involved in the crash just past Huntington. And then there's another wreck before you get to Myrtle. So overall, a lot of vehicles blocking lanes, and it looks like some of them are moving to the right shoulder, but it's causing some heavy slowing. On the 5 southbound, a serious wreck. Somebody hurt in this accident in Valencia, southbound on the 5. Before you get to Valencia Boulevard, thank you, Trucker Tim, for calling in. I do see that backup just past the 126. The PCH hard closure in place because of the Franklin fire. That's both directions from Keenan Dune to Topanga Canyon Boulevard. And Topanga Canyon Boulevard is now open, so you can use that heading northbound to the 101 or over to the 118. But want to make you aware there is some road work just past Nordoff and heading closer to Devonshire on the north end of Topanga. So that's causing a little bit of slowing connecting to the 118. Rob?
Thanks, Sabina. The deadline for LA restaurants to apply for the Alfresco outdoor dining program has been extended for another year. That's the second extension this year. That gives businesses a lot more time to apply. The program, which started during the pandemic, allows restaurants to set up outdoor dining on streets and sidewalks. And since it was so successful, the city now offering permits for permanent outdoor dining setups. Crews dealing with the 4,000-acre Franklin fire still have a lot of work to do. It's currently 7% contained. Pete Demetrio reports officials are asking people who live in the evacuation zone and want to go home to be patient for a little bit longer.
CAL FIRE wants to be sure they can get enough containment around the blaze to ensure it can't double back and threaten homes in Malibu proper. While that's going on, State Senator Ben Allen was urging residents who evacuated to stay away just a little while longer so that essential services can be restored.
We're going to get people back in their homes as soon as we possibly can. Southern California Edison is rewiring right now, checking all of its infrastructure. We want to get East Malibu back up and running right now on the power side. So a lot of work is underway.
County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath also called for patience by those who've been forced to leave the area.
I know days away from home are difficult, but rest assured the team here is hard at work, and you are safest at your evacuated site and at their direction.
It's the hope of city officials that repopulation to the evacuated zones could begin as early as Friday. In Malibu, I'm Pete Demetrio, KNX News 97.1 FM.
And we talked to Malibu Mayor Doug Stewart. He says it's still too early to know when people can go back home, but they need to get PCH cleared out and open first. He also talked about the impact of the power shutoffs.
They need to be more judicious about when and how they turn them off and where, as well as how fast you get them back on. Now, it's highlighted the fact that we don't have cell service because power goes out, cell phones go out, the internet goes out, and we've got residents, think of this, sitting in the dark, wondering if fire is coming their way. They have no way to find out because everything is turned off. We have poor cell service here in the first place.
Sean Smith lives in Malibu Beach RV park that was threatened by fire. It's not too far from Corral Canyon. His home was spared.
Spooky to know if we're going to come back and there not be anything here. But fortunately, they stopped it, and you can see, if you walk right over here, they stopped it right at the park. Now that I've gotten in here, I've been able to reach everybody and let them know that this stuff is safe, We got lucky.
He says he was asleep in his RV when somebody knocked on the door at 3 in the morning, told him he had to get out. The flames were rolling in over there nearby a canyon. A warning for Jewish people planning to visit Australia after a recent terror attack on a synagogue. Emily Valdez reports.
The travel advisory for Jewish people going to Australia comes from Rabbi Abraham Cooper of the Simon Wiesenthal Center in Los Angeles. It's based on the government's response to a bombing of a synagogue last Friday.
Someone came and threw a Molotov cocktail inside the synagogue in the community hall where there were people inside.
It happened in the city of Melbourne.
There were 2 individuals who received burns, and it could have been a lot worse.
Rabbi Cooper feels the Australian authorities are not taking this terror attack seriously enough.
This is not a boycott. This is a matter of understand what the realities are on the ground. Everybody should make their own decisions about if they're going.
The 2 other places, there are advisories. Jewish people be on alert if you go to Malmo, Sweden, and Amsterdam. I'm Emily Valdez, KNX News 97.1 FM.
It's 11:11.
Hurt on the job, developing wrist pain, back pain, headaches due to stress? Call me, attorney Robert Ozeron, at 310-999-9989, the Injured Worker Hotline. That's 310-999-9989.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Fair Place Pomona. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Fair Place Pomona. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Fair Place Pomona. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates. This weekend only, Fair Place Pomona. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Fair Place Pomona. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Fair Place Pomona. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Fair Place Pomona.